Punk versus Mike Jackson.
See, we are particularly interested in tomorrow's event because of the fact that CM Punk is going to be in his second match. And what do we honestly think that's going to happen tomorrow?
Well, I see. This is the interesting part, right? This is the interesting thing because unlike Punk versus Mickey Gall, wherein Gall was already an established winner,
Yeah.
and
He was a pro. He was a pro.
4-1.
He was an absolute beast.
Exactly. So
Right.
this time it's going to be more of an equal matchup where Punk has, had one match. Mike Jackson has had one match, but they've interestingly both lost each their consecutive their respective matches.
Two
So now
Mickey
they're
Gall.
going ahead. Now they're going ahead
Yeah.
head on head.
The problem,
So now
the problem is this, right? I mean, stats wise, win loss, the record wise, yes, fair enough, they are even. But I think that Jackson has more fight experience than CM Punk. So I would say still, even though there's obviously that record equality. So in as CM Punk put, I think MMA logic dictates that they are on the same level. But I honestly don't know if they are honestly on the same level. So what do you think, though?
well, I think you're right. I mean, it may look on paper like they're on the same, on the same level, but you know what? Punk has a professional wrestling experience, and you know what? He might be able to use that to a certain extent. But like you said, Mike Jackson has more fighting experience, and let's just face the truth: the go to sleep isn't going to work here tonight.
The GTS will not work, but what will work is the Anaconda Vice.
The Anaconda Vice, yes, if he does apply that, and if he does apply that right, he just might get the edge of the match. Now,
I think so.
there's been another interesting topic that's been going around about CM Punk. Now,
Whoa.
getting down to that, do
What is
you
this?
think this is going to be his final attempt? Now, let's just say he loses this match again, and I don't know. I'm a Punk guy, by the way, but I hope he doesn't lose this match. But if he loses this match, do you think this is going to be his last match?
Okay, see, I don't know Punk personally, obviously, neither of us do, but I mean, if you really look at what his sort of personality that he's got, or at least the person that he's portraying to the world, he's not the kind of person who's going to, back down. If he loses twice, what he's going to do is pick himself back up, dust himself off, and go back to the gym. Now, the real question is, will he fight again in the UFC? Because if he keeps losing, then the intrigue wears off, the novelty wears off. So will he be...
You know what? Yes.
That's the problem, you see. So if he does lose, I'm not entirely sure if he'll come back to UFC. He might go somewhere else and fight, but I think he's going to keep fighting, yeah.
Oh, you know what? Somewhere else. I've been hearing stuff about that too, about him getting back in the wrestling ring in September, but I think he debunked that.
He did. He said he gave a very definite answer. He said he's not going. And you know what? Okay, the reality that's in fact a reason for him. I mean, that's the reason he's not going back, and that reason is he has not been asked specifically to be involved, and that is the reason he's not been anywhere yet. That was very surprising to me. Apparently, people have been beating around the bush about a possible return, but no one has actually no one has ever come at him directly, and hence the lack of return. the absence of return.
Right. But I do agree with you, but let's not just keep this let's not keep it, let's not rule it out, his return, because let's just take guys like Bret Hart is one of the best examples that I could say. I mean, whatever after happened to the Montreal Screwjob in '97, it was almost certain that he was never ever gonna get back to the WWE ring, but he did in 2010. So it's just that these guys like Punk and Bret, they just need their sort of rewinding time and just to refresh, and they might just have to, they've been Punk is actually, his last few days were pretty bad in the WWE, right? I mean, his mistreating and all that, he just couldn't take it anymore. So he just needs to wind down, and you know what? I would never rule that out because it's been 5 years, I guess, if I'm not mistaken.
It
And I
has.
don't
It
want to
has.
rule it out
It's been four.
completely.
It's been 4 years. But the
You never
fact,
know.
yeah, honestly, I mean, I mean, you make a. I mean, the point you made was very valid in that the Montreal screw job. I honestly think was a much worse situation than what happened to Punk. Or
Exactly.
I mean, of course, there are these medical issues and their ignorance and all of that. So fair enough. I mean, that could be taken as a more serious issue, and
Right.
that is fair, granted. But as far as the storylines and the way that he was treated as a character, I think the CM Punk character got treated way better than Bret the Hitman Hart got.
Right.
So
Right.
so simply going by how the character got treated, I'd say CM Punk may very well return.
In the near future or in the future beyond. Let's just hope that, because I'm a Punk guy, like I said before, and I'm hoping for that too. All right, so I got one more question before we round this up. Uh, you obviously mentioned it just a few seconds ago. The court case he's been having against WWE.
Yes.
So what's been the latest update on that?
Oh, he won that, man. He won that like few days back, or like maybe yesterday or the day before, and he was just ecstatic. Actually, no, I can't say he was ecstatic. I think it was more that he could not even he could not put his feelings into words. And obviously, I mean, he was just under this shadow for what, like 4 years, and finally to be rid of all of it, and
Yeah.
put it all behind him for real. Finally, the WWE,
Right.
that entire chapter is behind him. I think that really will fuel his psyche tomorrow.
All right.
So
All right.
yeah, I'm rooting for the guy. I think we are both rooting for the guy, and I really think he might win. He might win this, man.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So it's gonna be the 39-year-old Punk versus the 33-year-old Mike Jackson. They're both 170 pounds, and anything goes. So let's see what happens. And well, until next time, it's DJ Roo signing out.
Yes, Punk for the win.